I want to introduce our good friend, our special guest here. If you guys don't know who this guy is, he's the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time. This guy's absolutely crushing it when it comes to agent attraction. He's been very successful in real estate, doing a lot of other things as well. But let me just kind of share a little cliff note of his success. So he's previously a top producer for multiple years at a past brokerage firm, ranked #1 on social media in Calgary and the #1 in Alberta. He has the most FLAs and FLQAs at EXP in the history, only being here at EXP for 21 months as a solo agent. He's trained thousands of agents per year on social media and personal branding, and he just hit 50,000 subscribers on YouTube. So if you guys don't know who this gentleman is, let's give it up for Mike Sherrard, the GOAT, baby. How you doing, my friend? How are you?
What's going on, man? Super excited to be here. Glad to see we pushed up over 200.
201, baby, we did it. So
I'm ready.
What did I say? I said, hey, you know what? I believe we're going to hit over 200, and we did that, man. That is awesome, man. Congratulations to you. And you know, I know there's a lot of new agents on. A lot of new agents are joining us. That means we're growing, and a lot of agents don't really know who you are, or a lot of agents have heard of you that have never heard of your story. So I always like to kind of just start off with, you know, let's kind of take it back. Let's take it all the way back, you know, to you know, why you got into real estate, when you got into real estate, and then let's just kind of go through your success and your wins in your real estate career, and then whenever you join EXP, and then let's share your success at EXP. And then I've got a few questions I want to ask you, and then I want to also open it up to the group here for some Q&A at the end and let them ask you some questions. But take us all the way back. Tell us about Mike Sherrard. Who is Mike Sherrard?
Yeah, there we go. Sorry if my voice sounds a little off. Again, just coming back off COVID, lost my voice for a few days there. But yeah, it's been a crazy journey. You know, I took 2 degrees in 3 years and got into engineering, was recognized as top employee of 60,000 in my first year. And I quit 2 days later because they met with the management team and said, where do you want to go in the company? And I said, you know, I want to get compensated for my work ethic, not on salary. I want to get into sales. And they said, great, it's going to be 7 years of technical work. So I basically said, peace. Around that same time, I bought my first house, and very typical story. The agents didn't do the best job, saw that they were making some decent money. And I honestly never wanted to get into real estate, but for me, I wanted to learn marketing, branding, and sales, because I know those were the skill sets that you can apply to any industry to do well. And I saw that real estate was kind of a low barrier to entry. So, and I was always kind of interested in the investing side of things. So then I got my real estate license, started door knocking, got 2 listings at $700K my first night, door knocking and -10 in the snow up here in Calgary. And I was like, all right, maybe this is pretty decent. And in my first 3 years, I was a top producer at my past boutique brokerage out of 130 agents. And then it was really interesting, you know, for those that don't know Calgary, or if there's anybody up here in Alberta, we've got the lowest commission structure in North America, where it's 1.5% per side in Canadian dollars, which is 30% less than USD. And we had 14 months of inventory and only 27% of listings sold. So I was seeing all my friends in the States and Denver and places like that, you know, selling properties in 2 days over list price, getting 3% commission in USD. And I'm like, something's got to give. And it's really funny because around the time that I met Connor, I was actually considering hanging up my license because I was like, this is not worth my time. I'm going to get into marketing or branding or something else like that. And then that's when EXP came across my plate with Connor. And it's basically, you know, he proposed it as an opportunity to leverage my skill set, my past successes, and everything that I love about the industry, while giving me an opportunity to get out of the production side that wasn't really as lucrative as I would like it to be. So that's kind of the story. And within my first year at EXP, I think I had 167 FLA, 363 total. And then now I'm at 252 FLA, 820 total as of today.
Wow, that's huge, guys. In 21 months. That is absolutely amazing right there, guys. That's wow, man. I just want to say congratulations to you, man. And you inspire me. I mean, I know I've been at this for for 6 years now. And, I've got a group of almost 4,700 agents. I've only personally sponsored 55 agents, but, I know a lot of agents, for one, and we'll get to the agent attraction side here in a little bit though, but for two, a lot of agents are here to sell a lot of real estate because that's what, that's their passion, that's their livelihood. And then that goes hand in hand with the agent attraction. So, if you could kind of share some nuggets of some of these agents, of course, we got all different caliber of agents on the call, a lot of new agents here on the call as well. So if you could kind of share some nuggets as a coach, as a leader to help them get their real estate business, maybe off the ground or help them get their real estate business to the next level, what would you recommend? What would Mike do to coach them?
Yeah, definitely. I think, there's a couple things, and one of them, probably the biggest one, relates to Alfonso's story, which comes down to mindset. My mindset within my first year of real estate was that I wanted to look back at the end of my first year and say with confidence and full transparency and honesty that there wouldn't be a single thing I could have done more to get more business in my first year, which is why I door knocked, I cold called, I hosted networking events, I went to networking events, I was on YouTube, I was on Instagram, I was running ads. I literally did everything. And then what you can do over time is just, a quote that I hope everybody lets sink in for a second is, what gets measured gets managed. And I was measuring where the business was coming from and what was being the law of diminishing returns and what was I wasting time on, so that I could dial back what wasn't working and double down on what was. And again, I think it's important for people to really get outside of their comfort zone. Like Alfonso is saying, it's not easy to, go without certain things that you're used to for extended periods of time and do what's difficult. But that's what it takes. It's like, we all understand that video nowadays is essential. It's a must. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to always be on the leading edge of what's relevant in today's world. If you're not willing to get on video, then you should not be an entrepreneur, because you're not willing to do what it takes to further your business. Also, 86% of buyers and sellers say they would rather work with an agent that leverages video than one that doesn't. So all these agents saying that they do everything for their clients humanly possible, they're willing to go above and beyond. If you're not leveraging these strategies, you're doing a disservice to your clients and your business. So I think a lot of it comes down to the mindset of being an entrepreneur within real estate, where you have to innovate. You have to solve problems. You have to, look at what's relevant today and capitalize on it, because that's our job, right? We're not an employee. We don't just sit here and do the same repetitive task every year and get paid a salary. We have to be innovators. So my biggest recommendations is, number one, you have to have a schedule that is focused solely on income producing activities like prospecting, like creating content, which is a modern form of prospecting. So schedule is number one. Number two is doing a daily power list, which is what helped me, skyrocket my business, which is writing down the night before the 5 income producing activities that you need to get done the next day, right? And these are not like BS, groceries, laundry, things. This is like 3 hours of prospecting, recording 4 videos, doing 3 CMAs, following up with past clients. Like, if you can do 5 income producing activities every single day, your business will 10X, period. And that's the little things that a lot of people just get so caught up in this big, lengthy goal that they don't break it down into daily activities that will actually help them get there.
That's huge. I love it, guys. That's so true right there. Hey, I hope you guys took some notes. I did. That is absolutely amazing. All right, so now let's shift to the agent attraction side. Of course, a lot of agents, they do want to start building a rev share, and a lot of agents don't really know where to start. They don't, they don't feel comfortable talking about EXP because they feel like that they're going to get shot down and told no. Of course, we've all gotten shot down. I mean, I get told no, every single day, just like what Ian said. It's not a big deal. No means not right now in my eyes, right? And so let's share some nuggets about how has Mike Sherrard built a organization this fast and this big and has 252 FLAs. And guys, if you don't know what an FLA is, that is, he has personally attracted himself on his front line 252 agents, frontline qualifying agents on his front line. That's unheard of. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. And so let's just kind of share, with the agents on the call, how are you doing that? What are you doing? I know you've got systems or whatnot, but share with the group, how you've been able to build this so quick and so fast.
Yeah, definitely. Like the one thing that I want everybody to take away from today is that production and agent attraction is the exact same, right? If you're, you've either got listing presentations or agent presentations. The number one skill set you need is communication, and the strongest communicator and the one that over delivers on value every time is going to be the one that wins. It's plain and simple. It's not the one with the most money. It's not the one with the biggest following. It's not the one with the most years of experience. It's the one that could best communicate the opportunity that is at hand, right? All the EXP is a vehicle that takes people from where they are today to where they want to go. If you can clearly help people understand how that is going to transpire, they will join you. And just being a person that is fun. Like this is, one of the reasons why we've had such a successful group with the Wolfpack is that it's like a big family. Like people genuinely have fun being a part of our group. And you see us at these events and we go on helicopters, we go on boats, we go on, $15,000 dinners. Like we do fun stuff to make it an enjoyable journey. But when it comes to agent attraction, it's the same thing as, for me, I've never reached out to a single agent. Every agent is just directly booked into my calendar, all through my YouTube channel. And it's just because of over delivering on value and understanding the model to a deeper extent than most. And I think that's the biggest thing that a lot of agents struggle with, that are not confident about agent attraction, is because they're not confident in their knowledge of the model, right? If you're in a listing presentation, the one that wins is the one that's best at communicating their service, which is themselves. If you're in an EXP agent presentation, the one that wins is the clearest at explaining the model, which is our product, right? That's all that this comes down to. So the feedback that I get from everybody that has reached out, I get about 4 to 8 agents a day booking into my calendar, with a 98% conversion rate, which is pretty crazy. Is that, Connor would know this. I might pass 50,000 subscribers this week, but when I joined EXP, I had 2,000. I didn't have a big following. I didn't have massive clout or influence. People see that I have it today, but when I joined the company, I didn't have it. But what I did have is a sponsor that poured into me like nobody else, somebody that helped me understand the importance of learning the model. And then I translated that into content. And the feedback that I get from every single person that books into my calendar is, Mike, I went down the rabbit hole. I watched everybody's videos on YouTube. Yours was just the clearest and most well explained. And it seems like you have a good grasp on the model. It's not because I have the most views. I still don't have the biggest following, but we are dominating everybody that has a bigger following, because again, we pour into our group and we look at it from a selfless perspective instead of a selfish perspective.
That's so true. That's so true. And also I want to dovetail off that because I know your sponsor is one of your best friends now. And I just love how EXP brought you guys so close. And so I want to introduce Connor Steinbrook real quick, guys. If you don't know who Connor is, he's one of my good friends as well too. It's just EXP is a family. We're all like family here. And I didn't know Connor. I didn't know Mike before EXP. And so I met these two gentlemen and they just hit it off. And so I wanted to kind of share, or I want Connor to kind of just share real quick about who he is and what he's built over here at EXP in his success to attract Mike over to EXP, because there was a lot of agents that went after Mike Sherrard before Connor, and Mike was just turned off because everybody was just throwing up on him. They weren't providing value. They were just trying to recruit, and that's not the way to do it, guys. You want to build a relationship, and that's what Connor did. And I want you guys to learn how Connor did it, because it's so valuable, and that's how he got Mike. And it's an amazing story. So Connor, just kind of share with the group, for those of you that don't know Connor, he's an amazing agent. He's one of my good friends. And so he's been with us growing at EXP for several years now. So just kind of share a little bit about your success and how in the process of attracting Mike Sherrard to EXP.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I'll go real quick. So we get right back to Mike. But, I joined the company December 28th of 2017, so just over 4 years ago. First year, I sponsored 40 people. Our team turned into 151. Second year, we grew to a little bit over 300. Third year, over 600. Last year, we went from 600 to 1,600. In the past 30 days, we've added 159 agents in just the past 30 days alone to our organization. So it's been a great ride for us. And a lot's happened in a really quick time. It seems like we just signed up, but it also seems like it's been a little bit of time here. But you know, we were starting to gain some momentum. We were getting up to like 350, 400 agents when I started to get in conversations with Mike. And because Mike and I both kind of had the same path and the same kind of background, we were both on social media. We were both running a podcast. You know, Mike and I had been playing tag over the internet, trying to get on each other's podcasts. And at the time, I was putting more time on YouTube, and Mike was putting more time on Instagram. And so we kind of both were wanting to find out more about what we were doing. And that led to a first podcast that we did. And podcasting or any type of collaboration video that you guys do with social media is a great way to build a relationship where you can have a different entry point to a conversation than just, hey, you want to look at EXP, right? This is more like, hey, let's work on our businesses in general. And if something happens, it happens, right? And so that first podcast, we had a little time before it, we built a relationship and after it. And then we decided, just like most times, if you guys do podcasting, you go on to other person's podcast, which gave us more time to build a relationship. And then we realized that we're a lot alike. And we decided that we were going to start a mastermind, they call it Social Strategy Mastermind. That was kind of one of the first bonding points that we had. And we built that monthly recurring membership site called the Social Strategy Mastermind. It had, I don't know, 200 or 300 people come into it pretty quickly. And then we just started, sharing value and running that mastermind. And over time, people started seeing what we're doing with the Wolfpack, and they started joining us, and it kind of snowballed. But and then once Mike caught the bug and realized he could do it, it was just getting out of his way. And, he's, like, just to kind of clear up stuff, like, a lot of people think he must have like this team of people behind him. Mike has like literally done this one by one by one by one. I'm not giving him agents. Those are all his agents he did by himself. Like, he did this individually. And it's quite impressive because, he's setting these inbound appointments and he's closing all these calls and doing this all on his own. So it takes incredible work ethic, incredible talent, and just an incredible drive just to keep going and doing what he's doing. So I'm impressed, and I know everybody else is. But that's a quick rundown. We got connected through social media, built a relationship that way, and then it just all played out.
There you go. I love it right there. Connor said it. He built a relationship with Mike. That's what it's all about, right? This business is a relationship business. Even the real estate side, it's relationships. Same with agent attraction, just like what Mike and Connor said. This is a relationship business. No, that is awesome right there. All right, so I've got maybe one or two more questions, and then I'm going to turn it over to Ian. I'm going to see if Ian has any questions, and then we'll turn it over to the group and open it up for some Q&A though. But so Mike, so what are some of your goals for agent attraction? I mean, I know you're absolutely crushing it right now. 252 FLAs in 21 months. I mean, what are some of your goals? Like 2-year, 3-year, 4-year goal? I mean, yeah, I know you're a young guy, and so where do you see yourself in 2 or 3 years at EXP?
Yeah, definitely. And I'll piggyback off something Connor said after this, but my goal is to hit 1,000 agents by the end of my second year, which is end of April. I want to hit 2,000 agents by the end of this year. And I tell Connor all the time, like, I'm not content until I get 10,000. And it's really funny because it's like, when I hit 500, I'm like, oh my, as I was approaching 500, I'm like, I'm going to be so happy. I bought this like $500 bottle of champagne. I'm like, I'm going to pop it when I hit 500. Hit 500. I'm like, all right, now we got to get to 1,000. It's like, I'm never even remotely satisfied with any metric I hit until it's 10,000. And the good old Brent Gove gave me a random FaceTime last night, and I told him I'm coming for the throne. So he knows what's up. And the Team Disruptor and our whole squad, we're coming in hot, and it's been a journey. And I think it's really important for you guys to kind of piggyback off what Connor said, is to find somebody to run with, right? Like, as Connor is saying, in terms of like work ethic and things like that, like, it is no joke when you're doing it at this level, lonely and exhausting. And I'm sitting here, literally, I've got a 2,000 square foot penthouse. I sit in my one little office every day for 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. I've got like a Lamborghini that I never drive. I've got like everything that people want that I never use, because I'm just so relentlessly focused on capitalizing on this time sensitive opportunity that I'm just nose to the grind. And I think running with somebody that you have a very strong relationship is going to change everything. And I think that's why Connor and I work so well together, is because we are like brothers. We've got so much respect for each other, where if there's times where I get a bit more recognition, it doesn't bother him. If there's times he gets more recognition, I don't care. We prop each other up. We've never once had an argument because we understand each other and how we operate. And we're so symbiotically aligned that we just push, grow, and build. And we never get in each other's way. And we always do everything we can to prop each other up and support each other. And that's, I think, been the biggest thing. Is there's no way in hell I would have been able to do this without, having a partner like Connor. He's the only guy I could imagine that could have helped me get here. So everybody needs to have somebody they can run with. And I think that's the biggest key to success. Every single person you look at EXP that's thrived has done it in twos, right? Whether it be two on the same line or two stacked 1-2, everybody that has succeeded at EXP has done it in twos. So find your partner, make sure you have a very open, honest, and transparent relationship with that partner and build it on a deeper level than business. Because Connor and I, like I say, we're best friends, we're like brothers, but we're also business partners. We have a completely outside, it's not just business. And I think that's what builds it on a stronger level.
Love it. Love it. And Mike, I'm going to book a flight right now. I'm going to fly up there and I'm going to drive your Lambo for you. Is that okay?
Bring it on. I just need to charge it.
There you go. There you go. All right, Ian, I'm going to kick it over to you. What questions do you have for Mike? And then we'll open it up to the group here.
All right, man. What's up, Mike? Glad you could be on this morning. Hey, man, you talk to a lot of agents, a lot of brokers, a lot of team leaders. You have literally dissected pretty much every brokerage model on the planet. What would you say to the people on the call that are in EXP? There may be a few guests here that are looking at EXP. How big is this opportunity and why is this so significant to focus on this right now?
Yeah, it's crazy. When you look at it, guys, if you capitalize on, if you're an early adopter, like we all are right now at 73,000 agents with the goal to get 500,000 or 600,000 agents in the next 5 to 6 years, if you, in any line of industry, if you capitalize on an exponentially growing opportunity that's proven and you're an early adopter, you will get compensated and rewarded unfairly compared to those that wait for it to mature, right? It's like, we've got this massive gap of over 125,000 agents, in the next couple of years. It's like I tell people this when I'm doing my EXP presentation all the time. I'm like, it's like getting into Bitcoin at $5,000, knowing guaranteed it's going to get to 100,000. How much time would you spend investing into that? It's like getting into Amazon, Tesla, IPO or pre-IPO. How incredible would that be, right? This is a time-sensitive opportunity because once it builds out, yes, you're still going to have opportunities to scale, but it will never be this easy. And now, back when Pat joined, it was living hell to onboard an agent. We're now at a place where we're still early. The kinks are sorted out for the most part, and we've got a massive runway of growth with more attention on this model than ever. Right? Especially with copycat brokerages coming in and, failing, we're seen as a safe haven for agents. But also, I think that's the last thing, Ian, is that we are a safe haven for agents. And a lot of agents can't think past the next deal or the next year. And this is why people run into problems where they get to a point where they always envision themselves retiring and they can't, because they don't have a model that allows them to benefit from everything they've spent building for the last 20 years. And they're broke because they have no savings. Whereas if you can help people understand that, hey, you might not see it today, but in 5-10 years from now, this is the only vehicle that's going to allow you to retire, exit the business, and enjoy the fruits of your labor. This is a heaven-sent cure for cancer for agents.
Amen. Love it.
Awesome. Yeah, that's what Pat said. If you knew you had the cure for cancer, wouldn't you tell everybody? He goes, well, EXP is the cure for agents' retirement plans.
That's right. No, it is. That's awesome. Yeah, great question, Ian, and good response, Mike. And so I'll just leave it at this real quick, then we'll open it up to the group for Q&A, though. But for those of you that are going to Cabo here in about a month or so, you are going to be able to hear Mike Sherrard and Connor on stage sharing their whole entire story right? Brent Gove reached out to Mike yesterday and said, are you coming to Cabo? And he says, I don't care if you're coming or not, you're coming. You're going to be a speaker. I've got you a room, and I want you to share your whole entire story with Connor to motivate everybody. So I just want to say, man, congratulations for getting that phone call. I've gotten that phone call several times, and Brent Gove is just an amazing big teddy bear, an amazing leader, and I can't wait to see you guys and celebrate together in Cabo, because we got to celebrate together in Napa Valley for Glenn Sanford's birthday. And I tell you what, that's the best time to truly build these relationships and have fun and just celebrate our wins and our success. And we definitely did that there in Napa, and I can't wait to have a cocktail with you there in Cabo and definitely celebrate our success and all of our wins. So man, I'm proud of you guys. Can't wait to hear you guys on stage. So all right, so let's not all bombard Connor and Mike though, but let's definitely respect them. But who's got a question for Mike right now? Let's open it up to the group for Q&A. And also, I just want to let you know, Ian, I think the highest that we saw was 215. I think that's our number right now. I'm not sure if you saw any higher, but I saw 215. So Mike, you're leading the way, baby. That is absolutely amazing, man. Congratulations to you.
Thank you, brother. We're here to break records, so I'm glad we can do it on this.
I love it. All right, who wants to ask Mike Sherrard a question? Let's see.
Joseph Limo, if I can.
Let's see. Is that Joseph? Yeah, Joseph, go ahead, bud.
Hey, sorry about that. I know I just stepped on someone else, but a couple of things. There should be 2,000 agents on here at minimum. Mike, I've had the extreme pleasure of meeting you, and you know how much I appreciate you, brother. I guess my question is this. It sounds like the model is really the forefront of your ability to convert. Where would you say are maybe the top 2 or 3 areas of the model that you feel most of us are just not quite understanding or maybe not communicating well to other agents?
Awesome question, man. And yeah, I appreciate you more than anything. So thanks for the question. Yeah, with the model, that's been one of the biggest, kind of votes of confidence that people have, because when anybody talks to me, whether you're a team leader, broker, solo agent, new agent, experienced agent, I've never been in a situation where somebody's asked me a question on a call that I couldn't answer immediately. I don't have to go to the cloud. I don't have to go to Connor. I don't have to go to anybody. And when people see that I can answer every single thing with confidence immediately, they have confidence in me as a leader that they would want to align with. I think when you look at common things that people struggle with, number one is if people ever see how I explain revenue share, there's a lot of nuances that I talk about that most people don't get. Number one, most people don't understand how to properly explain an FLQA. Number two, most people focus on the 7 tiers below you, but nobody explains the value of the 7 tiers above you and how the company is compensating us. Number three, nobody really explains that, again, and this is a heavy hitter, kind of statement that I always hit people with, is like, hey, this is doing the exact same thing you would at any other brokerage. If you're at Remax and somebody hits you up on Instagram and says, hey, Mike, just got my license, where do you think I should go? You're going to say Remax. If you're at Compass, Cobalt, Sotheby's, KW, any brokerage, the only difference is we're going to get, thousands, potentially tens of thousands of dollars for doing that. Elsewhere, you're going to get nothing. So you're doing the exact same thing. People have this incorrect stigma of recruiting. If you've built a team, you've recruited agents. If you brought your friend to Remax, you recruited an agent, right? So it's helping people get outside of their own head and understand the model. I think a lot of people don't understand how to properly explain the vesting period of the stock, including the tiered vesting structure of the Icon Award. And then a lot of people also don't really understand how to properly explain the importance of ownership and the difference between owning your business and renting your business like you would at most brokerages. So those would probably be the 3 things, brother.
Love it. Love it. All right. I see JJ. Go ahead, JJ. And real quick, if you guys don't know who JJ is, he's an amazing commercial aid broker here in San Antonio that came from Keller Williams, that great company over there. And he's now with EXP. So take it away, JJ.
Yes, sir. Hey, this has been an incredible Freedom Friday. Probably the best one. I mean, probably my second one ever, but this is incredible information. I just wanted to ask you, so when you're attracting agents, it seemed like you have a huge net of prospects that you're going after. Where do you find do you call agents and that you don't have a relationship with yet, and then start to build a relationship with them? Or do you kind of just piggyback off of, people that you've already recruited and who they may know? Or how do you get to the numbers that you've gotten being in the business for the amount of time that you've been in?
Yeah, it's a good question, man. Thank you for that. It's always kind of difficult to answer this question because to be completely transparent, I've never reached out to a single agent about EXP. I've never sent a text, DM, call, email. I've never talked to anybody about joining EXP. My focus is I kind of lived by the notion of if I over deliver, people will naturally want to be a part of what I'm doing. The same thing is like, there's two different ways to run your production business. You can prospect or you can attract, right? Both are effective. One of them just happens to be more efficient, which is the attraction, going from a tugboat to a lighthouse type thing, right? So for me, I just put out a net of value-driven content that I believe people would benefit from, gave them an opportunity to book a call with me. And to my surprise, that happened to be more calls than I was expecting.
That's true. There you go. I love it. All right. Yeah. Great question. Great answer. All right. Jamie Tulak, go ahead. I see you got your hand raised.
Yeah. Hey, congrats on all those frontline agents, man. That's huge. I think my biggest question, I probably speak for a lot of people in this room that are working really hard to attract those FLAs and get them to FLQAs. How do you support that many FLAs at one time? Because I'll tell you what, even my 40 FLAs, I'm like, holy crap, like they need me so much. I'm sure you have systems in place and people, to plug them into things, but how can you successfully support them so that they don't leave? I think that's the biggest thing. And maybe for me, it's a limiting belief that I have that I can't successfully support that many people, but how are you doing this?
Great question.
Yeah, definitely. It's a great one, and multiple prong answers that I'll bang out quick so we can get to some, the rest of the people. But and I think Connor and I, from the fact that we spoke at the beta call about retention, like I think we've also got the highest retention. And when you look at it, there's a couple different things. Number one, running with a partner, right? Going back to that, like I lost my voice for 4 days. We didn't miss a single call because Connor took care of every single one of the calls for me. We never skip a beat because we work in pairs. And if I can't make something, he does. If he can't make something, I do. So we've built up immense trust within our group because people know they can always depend on us. The last two things is, you're right, systems and processes. That's one thing I took from engineering, is we create trainings that will alleviate people from having to, nobody should come to me within my group about a question about social media. They get all my social media training for free, right? Nobody should come ask about the EXP presentation because I explain it to them 3 times a week, right? Like when you look at this, I look at whatever people have that would be a common question, and I turn it into a template, a resource, a training, or anything that's scalable. And the third part about that is expectations, right? Treating people how you want to be treated, understanding the concept of time, because, scarcity is what creates value. People know my time is scarce. Therefore, people do not waste my time with stupid stuff, right? So people don't come to me with silly questions because they know that my time is valuable if they can be resourceful. But I think that comes down to educating your agents on being resourceful, looking at what the company has, going to the cloud before you go to your sponsor or anything like that, and really helping people understand how to properly leverage this system, where a lot of these things can be outsourced. But communication of expectations is very, very important so you can set the ground rules properly for your organization.
Love it. Great question. Great answer. All right. I see Christina Sanchez. Go ahead. I see your hand raised. Go ahead and unmute yourself and go ahead and ask Mike a question.
Hi, Mike. Congratulations on all of your success. You're my new hero.
Thank you. Perfect. I'll take second place to Pat any day.
I wanted to know what's been a really good piece of advice that you've been given thus far in your real estate career.
Good piece of advice. So I think a lot of the stuff that I learned is honestly from Connor. And one of the things that actually goes back to the previous question that Jamie asked, which is working with the people that have earned it, and spending your time on people that have earned your time, not those that, want your time, right? So when you look at that, everybody wants your time, right? But as Connor always says, with 1,700 agents, if you give a minute a day to every single one of those agents, you're not going to have a business, right? It's impossible, right? There's going to be people, and this goes back to Jamie's question, is I tell people openly on my calls, even when people are looking to join me, they're like, Mike, how do you manage those amount of people? And I tell them openly, I work with those that have shown me that they have earned my time, and I don't work with those that have not shown me. Because if I have 3 calls with you for support and every single time you don't do anything that I told you, well, I don't care if you're on my front line. I'm not giving you a single second of my time again until you can prove to me you got everything done that we talked about in the past. I work with some people on my 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th tier closer than my 1st tier, because every time we talk, they execute. And then they come back ready to go to the next step. So it's really making sure that time is the most precious commodity in the world, because you can't buy it back. Money can always be made. Allocating your time strategically to those that have earned it is going to be your biggest resource, because what you'll see is that the ones that waste it are the ones that are going to leave, do no deals, attract no agents, and always suck the most amount of time.
Love it. That's huge. All right, I see Alfonso. Go ahead, bud.
Hey, thank you guys for taking time out of your busy day to share everything. And you are the GOAT, man. You are the GOAT. Morning routine. What do you do? What time you wake up? And morning routine. I'm big on that.
I love it, man. Yeah. Morning routine's been a big thing for me. I've gotten up at 4 a.m. for the last 7 years straight. And I get up at 4. I usually am kind of drinking my pre-workout by 4:30. The gym here opens at 5. So I'm there when the doors open, crushing my workout for an hour, come back, shower, get ready, review my power list that I did the night before, because I'm a firm believer that your morning routine starts the night before. Looking at the income producing activities I have to do. And then I don't do any of the miscellaneous management maintenance aspect until I get done my income producing activities. So nonsense like emails, DMs, little time sucking things, I don't get to until I've banged out everything on my power list. And then that's basically going to take up my morning from about 7 a.m. until noon. And then in noon until the afternoon, I have my agent calls. And then in the evening, I usually crush out content.
Love it. Great schedule right there. All right, Chrissy Davidson, go ahead.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Mike, for pouring into us. Hi, Connor, Ian. First of all, I want to thank you, Pat, because my rev share group is now, the whole thing is duplicate and absorb great content through the leaders that are here. And I'm thrilled. I've been pushing my team in Austin and all over to join, and I'm just thrilled they're doing it. So thank you for continuing to do that, Pat. Mike, so I have heard you so many times and so impressed. I'm 24 years in the business, was a former team leader, and would love to have your social media presence. I do not. So my question to you is, for those agents and myself and those listening, if we are building relationships, know the individuals well, know that they would be an incredible fit, have continued to talk to them for years, how do we get the blinders off?
Oh, it's so
how
easy.
Do we do it?
So easy. Math. Because
Yay.
Here's the problem is that, when you understand KW and I understand EXP, we're just going to have an ego and emotion battle about who's better, why we're better. We only know each other's models better than each other, right? I know EXP better than KW, you know KW better than EXP, or whatever your situation is with any brokerage. The way that I do it is always say, hey, listen, we're not going to get too far because we're both patriotic about a brokerage. Just let me run the numbers for you. And if I can prove to you that you would make a significant amount more here than you would at your current brokerage, would you be open to having a further conversation with me? And every single time it's going to work out. That's how we brought over Sean and Scott Batista from Compass. They weren't even remotely interested in EXP until I showed them they would have made $457,000 more last year than they did at Compass. Now it becomes a pretty easy conversation. So, you can't argue math with ego and emotions. So once you can get it to a math conversation, it becomes a lot more neutral, where you can have, you're just looking at data, and it's like, unless you hate money, everybody should be here, right? What are you going to do with an extra 20, 30, 40, $50,000? Would you take your family on vacation? Would you pay down your mortgage? Would you buy your dream car? Like, it becomes a very easy conversation once you get it to a math.
You know what's interesting, because I did hear this at one of our team disruptor events, and I started changing the conversation, and they're like, I want to go have lunch with you. I don't want you to recruit me. And I go, I'm not going to recruit you, but please be flattered that I want to be in business with you. And these are people I know, right? So we go and I say, let's do the math. I want to show. And that was the biggest, let me show you the math just so that you have it, right? Other than being, you can't fix stupid, and I show it to them, right? I'm just not comfortable leaving, even if I make more money. And I just go back and I go, well, here's what I do know. Whether it's today, a year, 2 years, at least you have the information to make a decision should things change. What else is there?
That's it. Because here's the thing, like I just brought over a team of 6 agents from Remax from Michigan, and a year ago he signed his application to join with me, didn't come. And I was like, hey, no problem. Maybe now is not the right time. But as I started to post on social media and be active, he was watching every one of my stories. He was watching all of my stuff. They're always watching. And at some point, their current brokerage is going to do some sort of bullshit that's going to piss them off. And then he reached back out. He's like, hey, Mike, I see you've, went from making $300,000 to $3 million in 12 months. I went from making $300,000 to $350. Maybe there's something more to this. And I'm like, yeah, there is. What I told you a year ago. Let's chat. And then he joined the next week. So that's it. I think, Pat, you've got more, but yeah, that's all I have.
It's patience and follow-up. I get it. And I also want to put out there so that people understand this doesn't happen overnight for you, Mike, that you have been grinding for years, getting your presence, because I know all of us have YouTube envy. And I'm a chick that, was showing houses with a Mapsco book and no phone. So, we've come a long way, baby, but we can't create what you have overnight. But I think every one of us have a superpower to be able in our own wheelhouse to be very, very successful.
Amen.
I'll shut up.
Amen.
Thank you.
No worries. All right, guys, we got 2 minutes. I respect everybody's time. I definitely respect Mike's time. He's all about his calendar, so I don't want to go over. All right, so we got 2 questions here real quick. Sandra, take it away real quick. Then we got Hector, and then we'll let everybody go. So Sandra, take it away.
Hi there, Mike. Thank you so much. We have great leadership at EXP. I'm under Pat Hayes, and he's a great leader. Quick question. Where do you have a library of training material for us agents? You're phenomenal. Your presence is amazing. Do you have a library of training for us agents to attract? This is the first time I'm new to the company, probably 6 months in. I didn't know you, but I'm definitely going to go look at all your YouTube stuff. Will you be providing additional training in the cloud? You're amazing. How can we learn your material?
Yeah, thank you so much. So a couple of different things. Number one, my YouTube, I tell people like R&D, rip off and duplicate. I've proven what works. Go rip off what I've done. Like it's there, it's public. Like go steal what I've done, make it better, and you'll take agents from me. Like, we're all here to win. I've proven what works. So go use my YouTube channel. And Connor and I have kind of tossed around the idea of creating a little something for people that want to scale like we have. So I won't put a timeline on that, but just sit tight and stay tuned.
Love it. That's huge. All right, last question here. Hector, take it away, bud.
Awesome. Thank you for the opportunity, Pat. Hector from San Antonio. Mike, thank you. I'm new to XP, new to real estate for about 4 months. I appreciate your transparency, Mike. Everybody wishes a Lamborghini in that penthouse, wish we had it. And you're saying like, hey, look, I'm really more focused on the grind. So I was going to ask you, out of everything that you accomplished, what is the thing that you're most proud of?
Yeah, definitely. I think the thing that I'm most proud of is not having to worry about money at 29. Right. For me, I grew up like I grew up very poor. My parents are now middle class, but I didn't have the ability to travel to do cool things. My parents, I remember telling my dad in high school, one day I want to drive to work in a Lamborghini. He's like, that's impossible. Nobody does that. Right. And now I'm at a point where I can shower my family with incredible gifts, incredible experiences. My friends, like I love that I'm in a position to give back and make other people happy. To be honest, my happiest memories with the Lamborghini is when I take a 9-year-old with leukemia who's a couple months away from dying out for his dream drive, where we organize 30 Lambos to show up at his house. Or when I can show up to a kid with autism that graduated high school and his dream was to go for a drive. This is the stuff. So it's more fulfilling to be able to do things for others and myself, because I'm a pretty, aside from the car and the watches, I'm a very simple guy. I wear sweatpants, sweaters, and slippers every fucking day. So I just like to make other people happy and create unforgettable memories as much as possible.
Man, that's amazing, man. I think you got everybody in tears right now, man. That is awesome. Mike, man, you're a good leader, man. You're a good friend. Man, you're just an amazing person, man. And I just want to say thanks so much. I know we're 1 minute over. Hopefully you don't have a 10 o'clock call right now. If so, I'm sorry. But man, I just wanted to say, man, thanks so much for giving back this hour, man. It was incredible. For those of you that came on late or whatnot, this is being recorded. We'll get this out soon. But man, that was just powerful, man. That was just that call was on fire, man. I just want to say thanks for your leadership, and can't wait to see you in Cabo, and we'll celebrate and we'll have a cocktail, and we'll share some more wins and share some more goals, and we'll crush those goals. And guys, this is an amazing opportunity, guys. And go to his YouTube channel, go like his YouTube channel, reach out to him on social media, whatever you guys need to do. But guys, this is it. Get out there, grow your business, have fun, and change agents' lives. I mean, this opportunity has changed Mike's life. I know he's changing a lot of other agents' lives as well too. And I just love it, man. Ian, you want to piggyback on anything?
Man, there isn't really much for me to say, but thanks, guys.
Yeah. That was an amazing call, man. Well, Mike, again, thanks so much for everything, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, man. You're an amazing person. Love you, bro. And you guys go out, have a great Friday. Have a great, safe weekend. Stay warm, and we'll see you guys back here next Friday. Mike and Connor, everybody, I'll see you guys in Cabo.
You bet. Thanks so much, guys. I appreciate you all.
Thanks, guys.